Hello and welcome back to my craft room. I have got 4 pieces of happy mail to open today. I think most of these are going to be quilt pieces, but there's one really lumpy one here. I don't know what that is, so yeah, I might open that one first because that's some wool warehouse. I haven't ordered anything. I don't know what it is. Let's go into that one first. So I think the others are going to be for the Bonkers Quilt project. If you want to know any more about that, I'll put a link to the playlist in the description box below so you can find out all about it, rather than keep repeating myself all the time and boring the pants off everybody. It's pearly threads. Marion! It's for Marion! Oh, thank you. How sweet of you. I've been working on my... I'm going all choked up now. A minute. I've been working on my Maggie Morris inspired pieces for the past month. As I'm recording this, I'm getting ready for the live later on tonight, the once a month arty farty party that we have on a Saturday night. Well, it's Saturday night here in the UK. It's 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. UK time, where we get together and have a live chat with lots of members of our community. It's always a lot of fun, and I'm usually kind of half working on something crafty, but I don't know how much I'll get done this time because we've got a lot of lovely things to give away, lovely Maggie Morris creations and Maggie Morris inspired fabrics to give away, so it's going to be a busy one. I've got lots of pre-entries already, so yeah, and so the reason I started saying about that was we've got I've been stitching away on my Maggie pieces all month, and I've pretty much used up all my pearly threads, and that's so sweet. That's so sweet of Maggie to get this. How lovely of her. Let me show you. I'm a bit bless her. That's such a sweet thing to do. So this is the little compliment slip that's coming with it, and obviously they've put this message in on Marion's behalf: a little gift for you, love, from Marion. Oh, thank you. And look at this lovely bag they pack it in with the wool warehouse. I haven't bought anything from them before, so I didn't know they did this. So what a nice way to do their packaging, and of course I will use this again, probably many times. And these are gorgeous colours, very Maggie, very Maggie, aren't they? I mean, yeah, those are just so much Maggie Morris colours. I love this variegated orange, and yeah, these 3 colours. I think these 3 colours and a pink are like the colours I probably used the most throughout that thing. And actually, let me just... I actually got another little surprise gift from Nancy. Thank you, Nancy, too, the other day, which was these. I mean, look, that'll keep me going for a bit. So, I tell you what, sometimes I've got to come back up. Why am I... My head is all over the place. I'm so big. I've got so many plates I'm juggling at the moment. My brain's struggling to keep up. Or my brain is going and my mouth can't keep up. I have been, what with the heart swap just finishing and now the quilt pieces coming in, and then people sending lovely unexpected gifts like this. People have put lovely things in with their quilt pieces for me as well. It's just like, I don't feel like I deserve this at all. I feel very, very lucky, and I really, really appreciate it. And you find yourself saying the same things like over and over again, and you start feeling like it ends up sounding like a bit trite, But you run out of new words to say. But I'm just a bit overwhelmed. Not making sense at all. I'll stop. Thank you so much, Marion. Thank you again to Nancy as well. Wow. Oh, that's so lovely. I'm all stocked up. I was thinking I was going to have to get some more Perle threads because I have really enjoyed working with them, but it was going to have to wait a month or two. So that is so lovely to have those. Now, I think the rest of these Happy Mail pieces are quilt pieces. This one, you can't see my address on this one. Let's see if we can do this on camera. See little sparkly stickers. So you know it's fun mail. Oh, I'm going to have to leave it on that cliffhanger for a second because I've just had my Sainsbury's order arriving. Oh, I'm all out of breath now. That's that done and dusted. So, left myself on a cliffhanger. Right, okay. I've got to cut that bit I just did out there. I just blatantly showed this person's details on camera, so let's just start that bit again. So this is some Cleo. I won't say the full name just in case, but this is Cleo V, who is OH, Ohio. I think it's Ohio. So this will be, and it says, Annie, handmade for your August quilt project. Hey! Beautiful. Let's have a look. Oh, lovely. And it's a heart done in the string quilting kind of technique. Gorgeous. Oh, that is lovely. Love the colours in it. Love all the different kinds of patterns. Little lace trims, bit of sparkle. Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous piece. Cleo, thank you so much. Great. Oh, I'll tell you what, I've had some beautiful pieces for the quilting again this week. It's really starting to take shape now. I can really see in my mind's eye how it's going to turn out. And I've said all along, I'm going to just, throw the pieces on higgledy-piggledy and just let it kind of find its own way. And it seems to be working out quite well so far. So let me put this to one side. Let's make sure I don't show that address again. Okay, next one, going in. Love these new stamps. I think they're new anyway. Tommy McPherson, fighting behind enemy lines. There's an address there as well. There's addresses everywhere. This is from Cath. I'm thinking I don't recognise the names. How have they got my address? But I've had so many requests. I'm probably just forgetting names now. But this is Cath down in the southwest of the UK. Just put my hand over that and then get the envelope out of the way. Oh, look at this. Look at this wonderful card. I love that. Okay, this time I'm going to get wise and check for addresses before I'm going to put my thumb over the rest of her name there just in case she doesn't want it all shown on camera. Dear Annie, thank you for all the fun ideas and projects on your YouTube channel and Facebook page. Thank you for watching them and joining in, Cath. It's only what it is because of all of you lot out there, I know you like cats, so I hope this will find a place in the Bonkers Quilt. It will definitely find a place, it will definitely find, but every piece somebody sends me will definitely find a place, but I'm going to love it. If it's got cats on, I'm going to especially love it. Love and best wishes, Cath in Somerset. I love this. So sweet. It's really nice to see a picture of a man with a cat being sweet and gentle with a cat, because you don't always see that, do you? And, I know a lot of men who go soppy over cats. My Tom is absolutely nuts for cats, same as I am. Okay. Shall we have a look? Oh, it's got like a stiffness to it, this looks like napkin tissue or tissue applied to this very fine kind of muslin or lawn. How intriguing. Oh, there's things in here. These pimples are out, I feel it. Look at these little hearts. Okay, I'm going to gather them up. Those can all be added to the quilt as well. How have you done these? Okay, one thing at a time. Calm down. Ooh, so this is just like a wrapper. Okay, we'll come back to that in a minute. I need to look at the... Oh, Cath, it's adorable. Oh, look at that. Just look at that. Not only is it the most adorable illustration, done in lovely colours, but look how perfectly stitched that is. Crikey. I mean, this is now I would call this proper embroidery, not slow stitching like mine. I can't stitch like this. Look at the. Okay, first thing I'm going to look at is the words. So this has all been done in a tiny. I'm going to hold this right up to the camera. Hopefully it's focusing okay. It's been done in the most tiny blanket stitch. So that's holding it quite close up. I mean, holding it at my normal distance to read something, I'd almost think that was written on there and not stitched at all. It's so neat. I love that the cat is stitching blanket stitch around a blanket. Look at this little needle. Very contented cat. I think this is how we all feel when we're doing a bit of hand stitching. Look at the size of the stitches under his note for his little mouth. How tiny are those stitches? And this is, I think, it's so smooth that. This is, I don't know if it's a stem stitch or outline stitch. Beautifully worked, beautifully. And then I think this is it called long and short stitch? Used to make this flower. No, I don't know. No, it's not long and short, is it? Because they're all the same size. It's that kind of interlocking thing. I must have a go at doing that. I do love the effect of that. And look at the perfection of those French knots. And more of the stem stitch or whatever it is there. This is, I believe, feather stitch. Look at the satin stitch on his little markings. I mean, it is exquisitely done, Cath. The little bird is so sweet. And look at the bracket fungus. Whoops. I always love those kind of fungus. I always stop and take pictures when I see them. And this is the neatness of the stitching on those. It makes you think, doesn't it, when you look at some of those antique table linen pieces and you look at them and you think, was this done by hand? Was this really done by hand? And you look at the back and you think, I think it must have been done by. Could you really do it by hand that neatly? And then you look at something like this and you think, yes, clearly you can. If you really practice. Oh, look at the little hearts on his little feet. Little cats' feet are so cute, aren't they? Oh, that is absolutely beautiful, Cath. I love it, and of course it will find a place on the quilt. So here's another example where what Cath's done is she's got a piece of stabilizer behind here. I guess it is, or something, you know, just a piece of interfacing or something. Some people use dryer sheets and things to do this, which is quite nice. We don't have a tumble dryer, but yeah, great way to use them. Nice to use as a backing for your scrolls and things as well. And then she's got this piece of fine cotton that she's done the embroidery on. You don't need to worry about finishing the back, and you don't need to worry about finishing the edges. What will happen is, we might not necessarily put these next to each other, but in a case like this where there's no sort of work around there, we might end up overlapping a piece like that, you know. We would never overlap your actual work, but where you've got sort of raw edges and stuff like this, we'll overlap pieces and we'll carry stitching on over that kind of helps to integrate, that meld everything together. It'll make sense when you see. A little bit like if you saw my scrappy string quilt, kind of the way that I melded them together. I think I might even I haven't got room to take a lot with me. I know Maggie Morris is going to bring some samples. Marian's going to bring some applique shapes and things like that, just to help to give people a bit of an idea of the kind of thing they could do if they've not done any stitching at all when we're at the actual event. I've completely lost my thread. Why was I talking about that? And I was going to bring along some examples of sort of slow stitch things I've made with the bazaar scrap packs, which would kind of make sense. But I just haven't got room. I haven't got room to do it, not and carry the quilt and all the pieces that are stitched on a quilt. So, but I might just bring that scrappy string quilt because that folds up quite small, and it does kind of show that process of putting kind of disparate pieces together with raw edges and everything, and ending up with it all melded together as a kind of cohesive piece. So I might just bring that just as an example. That's absolutely beautiful, Cath. I love it. And let's have a look at these hearts, because so how have these been done? It looks like, I can't work out how, that's got like net or tulle over it, and some kind of fairly heavyweight interfacing on the back, and iron-on interfacing, and then I don't know how she's done that. It's all got this kind of shine to it. This one looks like it's got like Angelina fibres or something over. I'm intrigued to know, Cath, how you did these. And of course they all look very stitchable, so we definitely could. I'll keep these with the quilt pieces. Ever so pretty. And we can use these to dot around and fill little gaps as well. That'll be really nice little focal points. I know one of the other things Maggie said she's going to bring is she's done some Cantha stitched circles, just layered circles of fabrics with Cantha stitching on them, made out of scraps of fabric, and they'll be really nice for filling little spaces. Suffolk puffs would be another idea. It's okay to have some dimension to this quilt. It's going to be very eclectic. It's not going to be. It's going to be very eclectic and lumpy. I could find a more poetic way to describe that, but now what's this? She's just wrapped everything in this piece. Oh, that feels lovely. So this looks like it's probably napkin decoupage onto like a very fine muslin background. Lovely to use to stitch into fabric journals and things like that. The feel of it is lovely, and the sound of it. And definitely it looks very much stitchable. It's the sort of thing, yeah, I'd use that as pages within a fabric journal or an art journal. Yeah, lovely. And great fun to stitch into these designs as well. So I'm going to keep these with the quilt. This I'm going to keep for myself. That came with Cleo's piece. That will go in my collage in my ephemera drawer. Basically nothing gets thrown away really. This will go in my scrapbook. So I'm building my thumbnail here. Now this is the last one, and this is from Kerry. You'll know Kerry Ann in our Discord community. Kerry is more of an artist than a stitcher. She's only recently kind of started dabbling in stitching. I did see an amazing cushion that she made for her sister last year, so I'm sure whatever she's made will be a beautiful piece to add to the quilt. There's definitely more than a quilt piece here, look. Okay, let's see if there's an address on first. Wait a minute. Oh, I think she sent me some of her index card a day index cards. I've been looking at the photos that she shared in the community. Oh, okay, I'm not going to look at what the days are first. I'm going to have a look first and then come back. She's explaining what the prompts were. Please find enclosed my stitchery square for the quilt. I hope it's all right. I'm absolutely sure it's all right, Kerry. So that's all the details about the index cards. I hope you like your gifts and my very wonky stitchery square. Embrace the wonk, Kerry, embrace the wonk. That's what I say. I would love to learn to stitch this beautifully, and it is definitely something I'll be working on when I go back to my vintage stitchery project, which I will at some point this year. And a couple of other things I've got that involve precise, what I call proper embroidery, which I find extremely absorbing to do and very satisfying. So definitely I would enjoy doing this kind of beautiful neat stitchery as well. But I didn't look at the backside. Let's see if the beautiful front, is it a messy backside? No, it's a tidy backside as well. Look at that. I would have threads all over the place here. So yeah, but you know, I love my wonky stitchery too. You know, I love both. So I've read that. So this must be the piece for the quilt, because I reckon that looks like index cards. Let's have a look at the piece for the quilt first. She must have rolled it up. Oh look, it's all tied up in a bundle. How cute is that? Collage drawer. Tissue is so lovely for collage because it's transparent. When you apply it with something like Mod Podge or whatever, it kind of just melts into the background like it's almost printed on there. I love using layered coloured tissue in collage. This is such a sweet way to wrap this up. I'll put this in with the quilt pieces as well. So it might be handy for filling little spaces between. This is looking good, Kerry. I have already, actually, I've just remembered, of course, I've already seen a picture. I just haven't seen it in real life. And I know it's absolutely wonderful. You're going to love it. She's used a piece of vintage linen as her kind of focal point, and she's stitched all around it. So I already know this is beautiful. I forgot I'd already seen it. I've had a lot going on in my defence. It's gorgeous. Look at that. How fab is that? So this centre part has come from a vintage piece of hand stitched linen. Now look, so this part isn't Kerry's work, but all of the surrounding and putting the whole thing together is Kerry's work, and I love the fact that she's put them together. I love that she's made use of these beautiful pieces of work that someone did like probably 100 years or more ago now. Yeah, it's the kind of thing they definitely would have been doing in the 1920s, and we're in the 2020s now, aren't we? I can't believe it. So let's have a look at the vintage part first. Look at, so if I put my hand there for scale, look at the neatness of that. That is blanket stitch around it. I can barely see it. I can see it better under the camera than I can with my naked eye. So just looking at that tiny bit of detail there. Hang on, this is fluff. Wait a minute. The minuscule, extremely neat blanket stitch around each of those pieces, and then little tiny French knots there, little bit of satin stitch and some straight stitches to create that kind of the stamen in the centre there. How fabulous is that work? And I love that somebody created this so long ago, somebody who loved stitching as much as we do now. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So you can see like a larger blanket stitch here where this piece has been. Look at that, where this piece has been. I wonder why it was done that way. Was that for something to go in there? It's not big enough to hold a napkin or cutlery or something, is it? Or is it? I don't know. Beautiful colours. The colours in that are like, that is a combination that makes my heart sing for sure. And they wouldn't have had like iron-on interfacing in those days. So how did they do this? I wonder if it's using that needle turn applique that I've been trying recently. Absolutely gorgeous. And then they finished it with this stitched foliage. Beautiful. And then what Kerry has done is apply it to a background piece, a piece of calico, and then she's done some straight stitching and blanket stitching around to hold it all together. She's pulled out, she's used the colours of thread she's used, bring out the colours in this central piece, which is perfect. And I love how she's taken so she's used all 6 strands of the stranded cotton here for all of her part of the stitching, and then she's taken, I think, 2 lengths, 2 lots of 6 strands. There's 12 strands altogether running through all the legs of the blanket stitch around there. I've never thought of doing that, but that looks really cool, doesn't it? It's like I keep saying with the swaps and now with these quilt pieces coming, when you look at someone else's work closely, when it comes in like this, you find yourself picking up little ideas and thinking, ooh, I never thought of doing that, I'll try that. I do love how they've done this, where you've got that tiny fine blanket stitch on the main, and then there's this really closely worked blanket stitch around the edge, almost like these days we'd do it with a zigzag stitch on a machine, but that's all done by hand so that this part can be separate. For whatever reason, it might have held something in there. Absolutely gorgeous. Very neat backside. A disappointingly neat backside. Okay. That is going to be beautiful on our quilt. Absolutely beautiful. Can you see how all of these pieces are going? What an eclectic mix of pieces we're going to have. But I think they will all come in together. Come together into a beautiful, cohesive whole in the end. God, I just see what I mean. Like I was saying earlier, I don't feel like I deserve all of this. And even though, I mean, these pieces aren't for me. These are going to go on the quilt. In the end, the quilt will be auctioned for charity. But how much I'm enjoying opening them all, and I will enjoy stitching them on and stitching around them and making them part of this beautiful quilt with pieces that have come from all over the world. It's just, Okay, let's have a look at these. I know I've really enjoyed seeing Kerry's pieces, but I've not seen any in real life, obviously. So I have got some of Kerry's pieces of art in, you know, real life art though. And I know it's, no matter how good it looks in the photos, it's always nicer to see things in person, isn't it? They always look even better in person, that's what I'm saying. Look at this. Oh, this one's got to be embroidery related, look. There's an embroidery hoop. Okay, I'm going to look back now at Kerry's note to work out what the prompts were for each piece. Oh, lovely, look at this. Let's put these out of the way and have a look at these. So, please find and close something for you. I've given you 2 iCAD 2025 index cards. Days 9 and day 54. So day 9, the prompt was embroidery, and she's done that, she says, in coloured pencil. Well, like I said, it looked embroidery related, didn't I? Yeah. So you can see the embroidery hoop and the, you know, the way the fabric gathers around it, and it's tight across the middle, and then you can see the different stitches that she's depicted in here. So you can see like the back stitch there, satin stitch. I could pick out all the stitches even though it's drawn. French knot, small satin stitch, little detached chain stitches. That was sweet. And lots of canter stitching across here, my favourite. The simplest stitch, and if I had to pick one, that would probably be what I would do of choice, is just fill areas with straight stitching. That's really lovely, Kerry. Day 9 embroidery. I can't believe you sent me these, so you won't have your whole collection now. And how you could bear to part with them. That's me. I'd have to keep the collection whole. And then so this next one, day 54. So the prompt for day 54 was river, and she's done this one in collage. She's used Winsor & Newton and Faber-Castell and Albert Dürer watercolour brush pens. Oh, lovely. So what Kerry does a lot is this effect where, hopefully if I get the angle right, you can see. She cuts things that she paints, draws, cuts pieces out, and then layers them all together to create these kind of dimensional collages, which I really love. I think they're so fun. I love how she's got a sense of movement in the water there. And the little water birds are, so we've got ducks and some other kind of water bird there. That is so good, that one. He's going just over the edge of the car, which is cute. Yeah, they really look like they're in the water, don't they? And then you've got this sort of grassy bank here. Oh, I shall treasure those, Kerry. I'll put them up on my shelves for a while. Maybe they'll take the place of one of your other pieces. I've actually got 2 of your pieces up there at the moment. Yeah. I shall display those for a while, and then they will go in my store of treasures. I must get around to doing my scrapbook, because I have, well, it's going to be a massive scrapbook, and I'd like to make it something that is kind of interactive, like one of those, I think they used to call them lap books. You used to see them quite a bit. They open right out, and they've got pockets and, you know, interactive flaps and things. Yeah, something like that would be quite a fun way to store all these, because I've got so many memories now in the last, probably about 3 years really. I've been getting serious amounts of Happy Mail with beautiful cards, so many like handmade cards, and not just handmade cards, but just really thoughtful or unusual printed cards. Like this one is a printed card, isn't it? But I'm saying that it might even be her own work. I don't know. It doesn't say, because I can't see anything on the back. But yeah, you know, just unusual cards, and all the lovely notes I've had from people, and just little kind of souvenir things. And, you know, like I had a parcel from Johnny the other day, and one of the things he put in was this bookmark, which came at a really good time, because I need to remind myself of this. Yeah, it will be so lovely to look back on all of those things. So I need to, I've got them all safely in a box to keep them all together, but I'd like to have them in a book that in years to come I can enjoy taking out and just opening and finding things in little pockets, and, you know, yeah. Anyway, enough of that. I've been banging on for far too long, as always. We will get my muggins out of the way. We do not need to be looking at that whole thing. And I really want to fit my threads in too. What a gorgeous collection of loveliness. So I'm going to move that up there a little bit so you can see it properly. thank you so much to Kerry and Cleo and Kath. What beauties. What beauties. It will be an absolute joy to stitch them onto the quilt for you. Thanks very much again for joining me today, and I will see you all again really soon. Bye. It's so exciting.